The reason why I've decided to really devote my life to mental health and the exploration of the relationship between faith and spirituality and wellness is because I'm always reminded of a quote by the late, wonderful Dr. Maya Angelou. And she said, "There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you." And I think about how many millions of people have stories of suffering, stories of not being able to disclose the challenges that they're confronted by, not being able to draw upon their spiritual and their religious community for that much needed support. So Muslim Wellness Foundation really seeks to educate community members and build a relationship between mental health professionals and religious leaders so that we can improve the mental health literacy of the community, to reduce stigma, and to also raise awareness about the importance of having that connection to community and to faith as a source of healing, as a protective factor against those mental health challenges. And the way we're going about doing this is through community education, through dialogue, training, through workshops that are really geared towards giving people an understanding, a basic understanding of what is a mental illness. There's a lot of stigma culturally against seeking counseling, seeking therapy, but what we know is that from our religious tradition, there is always the drive to understand yourself in relationship to others, and to also understand yourself in relationship to God. So the idea of self-reflection and self-awareness is built into definitely the Islamic tradition, but also built into many other ways of kind of understanding the world and making meaning and purpose, understanding purpose for why we're here. And often when people find themselves experiencing depression, anxiety, even struggling with addiction, there's always the question of, am I being punished? What did I do wrong? And perhaps this is punishment for something that I've done, or I've displeased God in some way. And what we want to do in bringing the education and the awareness to the community is help people understand that suffering is an inevitable part of being human, but the way towards healing and the path towards healing is always in relationship. So the mission of Muslim Wellness Foundation is to ensure that there's greater understanding and compassion in the community that can lead people to really draw upon their faith, as a source of healing, but also to increase the ability of our community leaders to respond to the challenges that we're all confronted by. The reason why I applied to the Arian Rothschild Fellowship is that there's a greater need to understand how social entrepreneurship and business can really be applied to helping sustain and encourage the viability of an organization's mission and vision. And so the drive is there inside me, and I want to be able to provide as many services and workshops and training and resources for the community, but this has to be done in a sustainable manner. The program will really give me the practical skills and tools necessary to push me to think more critically about my idea and my vision. Where do I see myself and the organization in 5 years, in 10 years? What overall impact will Muslim Wellness Foundation have in the community? What are some of the long-term goals? So all of those questions require not only skills, knowledge, and training, but also to be in the company of like-minded individuals that can help sustain, help us all sustain the energy and the passion and the commitment we have to our social justice issues through our business ventures.